Black Lung Lucy at Radio Memphis and Lana here on the Booze and Blues here, about 12 minutes past the hour. Everybody else is upstairs. Jen and I are here.
That's true. We don't need nobody else.
No, just you and I. Yeah, we can chat for a little while.
Yes, we can.
They'll come wandering in here at some point.
Let me tell you about that song, Lana.
Yes, please tell me. Who is Lana?
So Lana was my little sister. She died very young, 24. She had a heart attack giving birth.
Oh, my God.
But that song is written about the line of women I come from. We're all very hard-living, hard-luck women.
Yeah.
My mother died at 32, my sister 24. I'm considered a grandma at 48 in my family. You know, not really a grandma, but...
but yeah, you're the oldest of the bunch.
I am, of the hard-living, hard-luck women. And but when I wrote it, I wrote it for my little sister, but the more I listen to it, the more it sounds like me. The more it sounds like my mom.
Yeah.
The more it sounds like, you know, any woman who's been on hard times but knew she was better than what she's doing.
Right.
And so that's what Lana's about. I really love that song.
It's the old saying, if I knew I was going to live this long, I'd have taken better care of myself.
Yeah. You know, and I want to be very old. I tell Doug all the time, I want him to be changing my diapers. I'm so old.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you.
But, you know, yeah.
But it sounds like that you've lived your life without regrets, too.
You know, well, no, there's a ton of regrets. I feel like you haven't lived until you had regrets. You know what I mean? It's almost like, you know, it's almost like if you have everything, you don't want for anything, and when you have nothing, you worry about everything.
Right.
So you know you're living when you have regrets.
Right.
You know, you have the blues when you have regrets. You know, our own form of the blues, I guess you could say.
Sure.
But a good thing about that song is we actually wrote that song an hour before we recorded it. And we only recorded it one time live.
Just one take, and there it was.
One take. We wrote it like an hour before we recorded Lana.
Yeah.
And then we did it one time live in the studio, and that was it.
Yeah, that was a pretty magical
It was very
moment.
organic.
And let me tell you a little side story about this guitar I'm playing.
Oh, so this guitar, he actually got it as a gift at our wedding. Our struggles here in Mississippi from Texas, Doug's had to sell off some of his guitars for us to live, but everything's replaceable as long as it's not him or I, right?
Right.
In fact, I sold every guitar I ever owned, and I was playing for the past year on a borrowed guitar from the shack up in.
Right, for a year, yeah. But then I asked one of my oldest friends in the world, his name is Ed Reyes. He's a great musician in Houston, Texas. So he was my sister's boyfriend for many years. So he actually dated Lana, and then he came to the wedding and gave Doug a guitar, which meant a lot to us because her being my little sister and dying so young, and then the guy who loved her the most built him a guitar, and now we play Lana on the guitar made from the guy who was in love with Lana. Yeah.
And so this is a late 60s, early 70s Alvarez, I was told. And he gifted me this guitar out of as a brotherhood and love. Yeah. And it's
it means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know, it's the little things in
I hope
in
you
our
never
world.
have to sell it.
Oh, we never
this
will.
guitar I will never sell. I do have one guitar left, and it's the guitar Man's Lipscomb played on the recordings.
His dad gave him that. Yeah.
Dad gave me that old late.
It's a 12-string.
12-string late 50 Stella, and I'll never get rid of that. But I got rid of everything else. You see.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I kept us going.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
But I wanted to let you know that this guitar has a lot of meaning.
It does. It was built out of love, and the one who built it loved Lana, and that was that song that we just heard.
And so, what are we going to do now?
Ooh, we should do The Abyss.
Ooh.
Can we do something?
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, I love it. I love
I
it.
love this song.
So this is another new one. I don't know what's happening with Jenny and I and this
We're
transition.
morphing into something.
Yeah,
I feel like they should do a welfare check at our house.
But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Has the Clarksdale Police Department come to you guys?
Not yet.
Listen, the
man. They
Clarksdale
wouldn't
Police
even know what to
Department,
do.
unless you murder someone, they ain't hassling you.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
they're
they're
very
the best
cool.
police department ever.
So, we always think like.
We're headed up to the Cosmo Residence again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are.
We've seen them come out to some calls and we're like, they don't care. Yeah, they don't care.
The right place to be,
Yeah.
baby.
So this is another Black Lung Lucy love song.
And this is one we want to talk to you about, maybe recording that beautiful room.
Yeah.
6 steps away.
So this is a love song about, being okay in depression when you find someone else who's depressed with you.
That's right, Mama.
Misery loves company.
It does.
And all the angels sang. Took too many pills in the morning.
I'm so sick of this goddamn day.
Gonna get a go-kart in having good boy.
Nobody gonna miss me anyway.
Go downtown looking for the shotgun love, love, love.
Don't give my dog away.
Headed downtown, going to boogie bop at night.
Tea party with the worms today. Now we're drowning in a sea of loneliness. When there you were just floating on by. Now together we drift into the abyss. Hurts a little less with you by my side. You by my side.
Tides down. Got 3 friends in my pocket.
Why the hell are all my friends Mormons?
Karate movies from the 70s on VHS.
Wanna jump off that cliff again?
Go downtown, gonna do the boogie bar.
Wanna drift away on a purple haze? Now we're drowning in a sea of loneliness. When there you were just floating on by. Now together we drift into the abyss. Hurts a little less with you by my side. You by my side.
Rice. Took too many pills in the morning.
I'm so sick of this goddamn day. And that's called fun with mental
That's
illness.
much nicer now.
We have some of the Dark Lord in there.
Yeah, boy.
How much fun is that? I love that.
The
Yeah.
devil's gonna show up.
That's right.
You know?
I can feel it. I got the chills.
Yeah.
That blue orb
Well,
is
you're really
bouncing all
scared.
around my head.
Yeah.
The devil's gonna come in here and look at you and go, I don't want no part of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. That guy ain't full
He's
with
gonna
him.
be there's not much left of you. There's no meat on you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be a big hit over there in
In
Chechnya.
Poland.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know that.
You were talking a little while ago, meeting some of the people that are in your community there down in Clarksdale. You got a chance to hang out with some folks, and I know not too many people are coming through these days right now with the pandemic, but
Man.
So, but some of the locals there, man, I just want to give a couple shout outs
Yeah,
to
give me
like
shout outs.
to
That's
D Carp #1.
deep.
D Carp is our best friend. He's our neighbor and
Family.
a hell of a musician.
Damn right.
We got Quicksand.
Quicksand.
We got Lee Williams.
Lee
One of the
Williams.
best
Oh,
drummers. We
yeah.
got Lala
Oh, yeah.
Fred.
Wow.
Yeah.
Stan
High in
Street.
demand, we good.
Yes.
Yeah, oh, Lee's amazing. Stan Street.
Stan Street.
Yeah.
We got
Who am I
Sean
missing?
Van Apple
Oh,
doing
yeah,
his
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Sean,
yeah.
he's been down here.
Super Chicken.
Okay,
We got
yeah.
Super Chicken
Super
out
Chicken.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Super Chicken out there, man, doing his thing. La.
Oh, we got
Oh,
Walt.
yeah,
Walt. We got
Walt.
Jax.
We got
Jax
Jax.
is
Oh,
amazing.
Jackson is
She
is
is amazing.
amazing. Drummer,
And she's
guitarist.
drummer, guitarist,
Yeah.
singer.
Yeah.
Oh,
She
yeah.
blows us away. She's only like 26, 27.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's young. In
She is
fact,
amazing.
we never saw her play
And she's
drums.
so unpretentious
Oh, yeah.
about it.
Dude, she is the coolest. She doesn't
Iceman.
Iceman. We got the Iceman.
That Iceman.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Clarksdale, it's just, us being from Houston.
And I love, you got like Mississippi Marshall comes
Oh
in.
yeah,
Oh,
Mississippi
Mississippi
Marshall
Marshall.
and shit, and his grandson
Oh,
is
yeah.
amazing on the
Oh, yeah.
bass.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
his
Oh,
grandson is
absolutely.
amazing.
Watermelon Slam.
Watermelon
Is that
Slam.
his
Oh, of course.
And
How
I
did
do
you
have to
get
give a
him?
shout out, and I do want to bring a guy that's very dear to us, is Bill Abel.
Bill Abel is
Oh my
amazing.
God, yes.
I would love to
Good
bring
call.
Bill
Yes,
up here
now we
sometime.
had-
Love to have him.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had Bill Abel at our, maybe both of our
Ooh,
Bonafide
he's
Blues
amazing.
festivals
Yeah, Bill
many
is,
years ago. Yeah.
Bill
And
is
there's also Tori and
He
Heath.
is.
Tori and Heath. Yeah,
Tori and
yeah,
Heath,
yeah.
they play kind of an Americana,
Mhm.
It's mainly blues in Clarksdale, and then there's,
And then there's
a
us.
couple of us, that do. I don't know if we're really Americana or if we're just.
Roots, maybe?
I don't know.
Demented.
No, you guys are your own thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind
I
of
mean,
doing our
yeah.
thing. And
Yeah.
and I'll tell you what, man, we were blessed. We played Juke Joint Fest this past year. And the coolest thing, man, that happened was we were doing a little sideshow in front of Deeks, and Terry Harmonica Bean.
Oh, Terry Monica Bean
yeah,
is amazing.
He
yeah.
reached out and talked to me, and he looked and he said, keep doing what you're doing. We need
Mhm.
more of that. And
Sure.
what I think Terry was talking about is just the being authentic.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what it is.
Because we don't try to fit into a box, right? We don't try to do blues. We just do us.
We just do
but
us.
but we're very embraced by the blues community there. They get it.
Yeah.
Well, so
Yeah.
we were talking about this earlier. Blues is such a wide spectrum
Right.
of sound.
That's
It
right.
really is. It's one of the it's probably the oldest American form of music,
Absolutely, Rick.
and it has it has changed over the years. And I've heard artists say, "Look, we're not archaeologists."
Right.
Right.
It's going to evolve. It's going to change
Yeah.
a little bit.
And hey, that's a very valid point, and I always talk to Jenny because I'm always very confused. The fact that we're living in that region, right? We're the birthplace of American music,
I mean,
Charlie
we're in. I
Patton.
tell not to be too raunchy. We're in the testicles of where music comes from.
Yeah.
Clarksdale, Mississippi.
Never heard of
Like
it.
seriously, like this
I
is
can
where
see that, yeah.
it.
I mean,
This is
the
where it all
birthplace,
develops
you
before
know.
it's out into the world.
Wow.
you know.
Okay. Yeah.
The testicles of American music.
Yes,
yeah.
it is before it shoots out into the world.
That's right, Mama. But I do believe, like,
Wow.
the
Okay.
spiritual,
Let's
like
get
Charlie,
visual
Charlie
now.
Patton and Sunhouse and all
Oh,
those
yeah.
cats. You gotta remember
Howlin'
when there's
Wolf.
Right though, you're
Yeah.
exactly right.
Robert
R.L.
Johnson.
Burnside.
when they
I'm a
were
huge
doing their
R.L.
music,
Burnside.
it wasn't
Oh,
labeled
right.
really as blues, they were just doing their thing. And I hope they would be tipping their hats, saying, we're doing our thing. And I feel it, so, much
Yeah.
love, baby.
Yeah, much love.
So, what was the reason to come here then?
So we were actually, we were in Houston, and here we are hitting almost 50, and the kids are grown and okay, and so we decided that we were gonna, and he quit his corporate job, and we decided that we were gonna go chase our dream, and we felt like you have to go to grow, like we couldn't stay in Houston, we had to go and see the world and figure it out to grow. As people,
Right,
we
we
had to go on
didn't
an
even know.
adventure, so we put everything in storage, and we ended up hooking up with a guy named Jimbo Mathis from the Scornets
Much
and
love,
Birds.
Jimbo. Much
Right,
love.
right.
And he gave us he rented us a place on his land in Taylor, Mississippi for a few months.
That's right.
But there was no hot water in that trailer.
2 minutes,
Yeah.
2 minutes of hot
Yeah,
water, I
and
think.
so,
was the max.
and I think there was a family of armadillo living under our bedroom section of the trailer. It was really
Just like
demon
home.
life outside. Yeah.
Thanks, Jimbo.
Yeah, no, but
But
much
Jim, that
blessings.
was a great experience. so.
We were actually on our way to North Carolina to Asheville to follow our friend J.D. Pincus from the Butthole Surfers. He wanted us to move out there. But we stopped in Taylor, and then we would go to the shack up in Clarksdale first of all, we had to just go visit Clarksdale because it's
So
such
you
a
were just
place.
gonna pass through
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
we were
There's
just
no
hanging
reason
out
to
for a
visit.
minute.
there.
Yeah.
And so we started just going to the Shaka Bend to get hot water, and then we met a great